Januvin, Apolua, Solua. Boom, 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 boom. I gave up money. I gave up cause. I gave up everything in life. Promise me forever. Woo! Brr, dot, 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 brr, dot, dot, dot. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more box thing. So, as you guys could tell by the picture, this was Manny Pacquiao yesterday on the Sergey Kovalev Cedric Agnew fight. They had a live feed with him and Timothy Bradley, and the first fucking thing when I seen Pacquiao, I thought of Jamal. I thought of Michael Jackson, man. He had the fucking collar up. He had the little two stripes going down, the red jacket with the blue shirt. Instantly reminded me of the greatest entertainer of all time, the king of pop himself, the late, great Michael Jackson. Rest in peace. So, I had to poke a little fun, make this meme. And I want to talk about the 24/7, HBO's 24/7, Timothy Bradley versus Manny Pacquiao, episode 1. Now, when it first started, it was kind of weird because they had some real sweet music playing, like some classical, and it didn't really flow, in my opinion. I'm talking about before they said this is HBO's 24/7, like the very first intro. They were playing some Vanessa Carlton, making my way downtown, do. Like it was some real, it just didn't seem like it fit. But it got better. It got significantly better. I have to give it up to HBO and their staff. They definitely know how to put together great documentaries, original series, and this is no exception. 24/7, I really like it. Not necessarily the same vibe as when Mayweather was on it, and that's just because Mayweather's a shit talker and he talks trash. Like Shane Mosley got a big nose. Like he makes it kind of entertaining because you hear him yelling at his father or whatever, just because there's that like added shock value of the shit talking. But this was a great episode. Pacquiao, Bradley. I like the perspectives and the pacing that HBO does with this. And one thing I dislike, what I will say is, HBO has a clever way. Me being a director and editor, I know how the game goes. I can edit. I did a video on my Instagram of Adrian Broner making a comment and then Angel Garcia. And some people thought that Angel Garcia was actually responding to what Broner said. That's the power of editing. And it was actually Angel Garcia was referring to Amir Khan. It was when they were doing the fight build-up for Amir Khan, Danny Garcia. But the power of editing, you can edit anything to kind of match your agenda and suit your needs. And that's what HBO cleverly does. And the reason I say this is because they showcase the Bradley fight, highlights of Bradley versus Ruslan, and they show a lot of Bradley getting his ass whooped by Ruslan. And it was a close fight, but he did some good things in those middle rounds, which is why he won the fight. And they just kind of focus on the kneel down in the 12th round, the first 2 rounds where he was wobbled, which is good because that's the most exciting part of that fight, seeing Bradley dig down deep and become that true warrior, show he has a chin. Bradley also said that when Ruslan punched him in the chin, he said it felt like his chin went backwards. So this motherfucker has real legit power. And I'm surprised Bradley was able to withstand that flush shot, fighting with a chip on the shoulder, as we all know. I made a post-fight video and immediately told you guys he had a chip on the shoulder. He was fighting dumb. He also said he was pissing blood, which, again, suggests that Ruslan's power is no fucking joke. And I've talked to people that fought Ruslan, and it looks like his power is a force. But anyway, they focus on that as far as when they're doing the Bradley Ruslan highlight, talking about previous fights. But in the Pacquiao fight, they show the Pacquiao knockout, of course. But before that, if you watch the clips that they use, it's all clips of when Pacquiao was blooding up Marquez's face. And that's what the kind of the commentary is supporting. And they even show Marquez being knocked down. In my opinion, in Pacquiao Marquez Part 4, Marquez's first knockdown of Pacquiao, he had the first knockdown in the fight. And his was more convincing. Marquez was getting hurt in those later rounds, and he did get knocked down, but his knockdown seemed more of a flash knockdown, more off balance, where he just caught Pacquiao with the sweeping punch that Pacquiao didn't see around the guard. So, to me, I still think that Marquez had the the better of the knockdowns, and they didn't even show it. They didn't show Marquez's knockdown. They just showed the damage that Pacquiao was doing, and we know HBO is on, especially Jim Lampley. Bang, bang, bang. We know that HBO and Jim Lampley are on Pacquiao's dick. They're on his nuts. That's cool. You like the man, but come on, keep it consistent. Marquez had the first knockdown. You failed to show that. You omit that from the whole segment, and you showcase like Pacquiao was just destroying Marquez before. And I give Pacquiao credit. He looked sharp in that fight. Head movement, his punches were getting to Marquez and hurting him, but that was a very close and competitive fight. Pacquiao was winning the later rounds before he got knocked down, but Marquez was doing good early, and he had the first knockdown. So I even seen the idiot argue that the round Pacquiao got knocked down in, which was the first knockdown, that Pacquiao won that round. Like, shut the fuck up. Anyway, that's the only thing that I really have to complain about. The weird classical music at the beginning that didn't really meet and match the content being showed. And then kind of the false advertising in terms of selectively showing parts of what fight you want to show. Like I said, Bradley, you show Bradley Ruslan. You didn't show when Ruslan got the cut and when Bradley was doing the good shit that he was doing in that fight, which was outboxing the fuck out of Ruslan. You only show the lethal punches that Ruslan was landing on Bradley. And maybe it's a thing they do for ratings, you know what I mean? Because Bradley wasn't landing hard shots as hard as Ruslan. So maybe they're doing for ratings. They're just trying to show the most exciting. But come on, the Pacquiao thing, like, why did you omit the whole fact that Marquez knocked him out? You made it like Pacquiao was just clearly dominating. Even Jim Lampley, when he's talking, he's making it like Pacquiao was dominating that fight. It was a competitive fight. And Pacquiao was getting the best of it before he got knocked out. But it was still a competitive fight. There's no one that could say that Marquez looked horrible in that fight and he just landed a lucky punch. And if you do say that, you're probably just pro Pacquiao, not being a reasonable fan. But it's great to see HBO put together the segments because they always give good perspectives. I like to hear about Bradley talking about what he felt in the Pacquiao backlash. I like to hear it firsthand from him talking about the Ruslan-Provodnikov fight, how he felt. And like I said, it just supported everything that I've heard about Ruslan's power, and it's the real deal. I mean, the motherfucker's pissing blood. That's pretty severe. As far as Pacquiao, more of the same. It was better than the face-off. To me, the face-off was a little bit dry. It was cool, but it was a little bit dry. This had more action, more to look at, more visual, better storyline, good pacing. Really like the host, Liev Schreiber. He was in the movie Scream. He played Sabretooth in X-Men Wolverine Origin. So, I don't know. Overall, I like it. Great cinematography, great build-up. It's a meaningful fight that needs to happen. I'm sure we all want to see it, to see the outcome. Bradley's really confident that Pacquiao has lost it. He doesn't have that fighter spirit. He even said that in the Rios fight, Pacquiao wasn't able to stop Rios, and Rios was like sticking his tongue out and stuff, which was basically in his mind alluding to Pacquiao, you hit like a bitch. And he said, I had 2 rolled ankles and I wasn't able to, or Pacquiao wasn't able to get me out of there either. So he thinks Pacquiao lost that killer instinct. The other thing was kind of weird. Bradley was talking about why he rolled his ankles and how he got injured in the first Pacquiao fight. He said he tried a new trick in training camp based on Mike Tyson's book or like quotes from Tyson. Tyson said he used to go in the ring and fight without socks, like just shoes and just barefoot underneath. And he said he decided to try it in a big high-profile fight against Pacquiao, and it just backfired on him because he said he couldn't get the traction. The ring was real spongy and soft, and he couldn't get the proper traction, and his foot, trying to evade punches from Pacquiao, he slipped and rolled his ankles and fucked both his ankles up or whatever. So, I mean, they show him taking off his shoe at the end of the fight, and he didn't have any socks on. But it's weird. I've never really heard of that, and I don't personally see why you would just try new things in the middle of your particular fight. But like I said, when he removed his shoe, they showed some excellent behind-the-scenes footage from after the Pacquiao fight, the first fight, and he didn't have any socks on. So I just think it's weird timing to try to employ some new strategy like that. Similar to Andre Berto, you took a long layoff and then you went up against a tough game guy like Robert Guerrero, and you decided to try something fucking new early. You're like, oh, let me try this Philly shell, see how this shit works. Stupid. So I don't think fighters should try. You know what I mean? If it's not broke, don't fix it. If motherfucking Hanes socks was keeping you undefeated, keep wearing them bitches. Keep wearing them, whatever the fuck, crew socks, tube socks, ankle socks, whatever was working, then fucking wear it. You know what I mean? Like, don't try something new, especially in the biggest fight like a Pacquiao Bradley. Other than that, great episode. Looking forward to the second episode. Just good stuff from both camps. Pacquiao, he says he wants to prove that he's hungry. One thing I don't like about the whole Pacquiao situation is he's known as a KO guy, like, you know what I mean, the guy that can get you out of there, hurt you or whatever. And Freddie Roach and Pacquiao are like trying to lead the people to believe that Pacquiao is just such a humble and nice guy that the reason he's not getting Bradley or Rios out of there is simply because he was being too nice on him. I mean, if that is truthfully 100% true, you need to get out of the fucking sport of boxing. Rios was coming to kill you. If he could have landed something, he would have done it. It just, you outclassed him. He was outmatched and outgunned in the speed department. You had better experience at welterweight, etc. But he's coming to hurt you. That's his intent. That's his intent in pretty much every fight. So if you have the chance to do away with somebody, just like movies, if you guys, I'm a huge movie buff. You guys should know that by now. And I hate when there's an opportunity for the good guy to kill the bad guy, and the movie would have been 20 minutes long because the bad guy's motherfucking dead. No bad guy, no plot. And they let him get away or they let him go, and then it comes back to haunt him. And then later on, the bad guy comes back with a vengeance because you let him go. Like, that's stupid. And in the sport of boxing, a combat fight, mano-a-mano type of sport that is brutal, like boxing, you can't afford to have a dangerous opponent in front of you or someone who's trying to win and wants to win desperately and take it easy on them. And that's what they're basically suggesting, that Pacquiao, he's just so lovable and nice that he wants to take it easy on guys. He really could finish him. He could have finished Bradley. However, he didn't want to. That's a crock of shit. I mean, that's stupid. Why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? That's like me saying, I got a chance to make $1 million, but I don't really feel like doing it right now. Motherfucker, if I have a chance to win $1 million, I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's some gay shit or something crazy, like, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a reasonable reason or a reaction to why you didn't finish one. Like, oh, you could have finished Brandon Rios. You dominated him. Why not finish him? Why would you want to continue showcasing and beating up somebody who you're dominating? Like, it makes no sense at all to me. Like, that shit is like retarded. Brandon Rios is a dangerous opponent who's gonna swing for the fences because he's desperate to win, and you're gonna take it easy on him. I just want to showcase how well I can box and the new tricks that I learned in training camp, so I wanted to go the distance. I don't want to get Brandon Rios out of there. No, you're full of shit. If you could get Brandon Rios out of there, then you need to take that opportunity. And like I said, if this is absolutely true, Pacquiao needs to retire, because you can't afford to let guys off the hook just because you want to show mercy. Like, I'm not saying if the dude's like on the ground or something, you like keep punching him or something. Like, that's some Von Drago and Rocky Ford shit. If he does, he does. I must break you. I'm not talking about that. You could have compassion. Roy Jones even did it in one of his fights. I forgot who he was fighting, but he told the ref, he's like, he had the dude pinned on the corner. He was landing like combinations. The dude was pretty much helpless. Roy Jones took a step back and told the ref, he's like, oh, go ahead and stop this. And the ref shook his head no. And he's like, okay. And then Roy Jones finished the job and ended up knocking him down. The fight was stopped. So I'm not saying you need to pummel a dude and, like, you know what I mean, really try to end his life or anything like that. But what I am saying is, if you have an opening, take it. If you're dominating, who wants to go 12 rounds when it could go 2 rounds? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Especially when you feel you got robbed in the Timothy Bradley fight. Why would you want to even second guess or chance not getting an opponent out of there simply because you want to show too much compassion? I don't believe that. So it's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Good episode. I'm looking forward to the next. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next videos. Ego signing off.